What's up, everybody? It's 2 Savage Gaming, and today we're talking about the failure of the American game industry, as well as, to a larger extent, the Western game industry as a whole. We've had some games recently come out that not only have their tones completely changed from what they originally were, they don't even meet the standards, like in this video, of games from like 20 plus years ago. So let's get into it. So we've had a ton of games here lately that not only have changed complete tones from what they were originally to fit certain narratives and all, they just don't meet up with the standards of older games, and it's really sad. I mean, you can see it in this, the big difference in Oblivion to Avowed, and it's really pathetic. Let's get into the original Avowed trailer.
We have always known.
Yes, this is Avowed. This actually looks really good, unlike what we got.
It forged our empire. Turned heroes into queens and kings.
Yeah, it seems like your normal, you know, nice
Decimated
dark
our
fantasy
foes.
RPG type of deal from what we got in this. But what we unfortunately got was this. And of course you have your shades of turquoise, shades of pink and purple and blue.
You've seen how wild the living lands has become,
There we go.
both in nature and in politics.
Got a game where all the dialogue, companions, everything
The
are
source
just
of the blight
the biggest
eludes
things you
us
can say
still.
about them are the one guy's a voice actor from another game series that was actually
Just be
good
careful.
before. Guess what? They
The
ruined that
Empire
too,
doesn't have many
and
friends on
it's
these
free on Game
shores.
Pass. And that's about it. You know, the crazy thing is if you say anything about these older series like the original Dragon Age that changed to Veilguard like it is now, you're instantly labeled an ist or a phobe or whatever because you're complaining that they ruined what was originally a really good game, and they just transformed it and made it into something way worse to fit their new agendas, and they're too consumed with trying to message in these video games instead of just making something good. And it's reaching out into other games, just a lot of the Western games in general, not just American games, a lot of Western games as a whole. It's just really bad. Like I said, you went from this dark medieval feeling in the original Dragon Age to we get this.
All right. See this rock?
And you would think after all the time, I mean, they lost a lot of faith with Inquisition as was, but Veilguard, it's as good as dead. Just like Star Wars.
Awkward.
I mean, you can go down the list, Mass Effect, think of an older series, Halo, Gears of War. They've come in,
What?
pushed
Tell
agendas,
the rock what
instead
to
of just
do?
focusing on good gameplay, which is what we really want,
It's not a
and just ruin
dog.
these old series.
Yeah, but
The
just
worst part is all these so-called games journalists like IGN, kind of
you are
funny.
the
I mean,
worst.
IGN's
The
horrible.
worst.
They give a 7 across the board to just about anything.
So,
Maybe
a
drop
mental
it down to
cue.
a 6 and
Some
maybe bump it up
kind
to an
of
8.
Emotional trigger.
I mean, they're probably the worst reviewing site out there. But they're the same thing. They all push these stories. Oh man, the Veilguard's so great. It's so great. It's so great. Avowed, so great. So great. So great.
you're thinking too
Actual
hard about it.
games like Kingdom Come
Maybe
Deliverance 2 that
think
came out.
less and
Oh
feel
man, there's a
more.
gay part in
Have
it.
fun.
But nothing else
Go
was
what
said
feels
about
good.
it.
Feels
Even other games, Black Myth Wukong,
right.
they say there's no women in the
Connection.
game. You're self-reporting
Joy.
that you never even played the game because
Fun.
there's a whole chapter in that
You
game
know,
that has
We
nothing
would
but women in
sometimes
it.
Go to the shore of Lake
And I
Callahan
mean, at the end of the
in
day, they
summer,
cry about
and my
diversity, but
friends
you're
and I
playing as a
would collect
monkey
stones
with a
and
staff.
see who could
I mean,
build the
come on.
best rock fort.
Luckily, there are some games that come out every now and then, like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is amazing. Having an amazing time playing through this right now. They come out, but they are way too far and few between. You get that, maybe you get Helldivers. I mean, this right here is what most gamers want. Want to be online with your buddies, just shooting stuff, tearing through stuff, having fun like it's supposed to be. It's games at the end of the day. And that's why games like this, when they do drop, they immediately pop off and everyone's playing them. Even people that don't even play these types of games are playing these. You get that, maybe a Space Marine 2 here and there. But the amount of failures that are out there, I mean, you had what, Concord that came out and a week later was already dead, and within a month completely canceled, and they're supposed to have TV shows and everything else rolled with it. And what happened? Even from some of the storied studios,
Right, but a lot of those same
you get stuff
criticisms
like
are
this,
present.
where this was the easiest thing to hit out of the park with Starfield. Just put Skyrim in space. And they still found a way to mess it up. It's just, everything is super bland when it comes to the dialogues, the stories. It's because all these companies are too afraid of offending people, so everything's just so super bland. Even the side quests, everything. I mean, the damn space pirates in this game are terrible. Unless they told you in the game that they were specifically space pirates, you wouldn't even know. They just seem like another lame-ass faction in this game to match with all the other ones. Luckily right now for us, these games coming out of the East, China, Japan, everywhere right now, like Black Myth Wukong here, are really just hitting it out of the park. And a ton of these games, you got Black Myth Wukong here, like I said, you got the Elden Rings, Power Worlds, you can just go on and on, Stellar Blade, whatever it is, are just delivering across the board. Because at the end of the day, the only thing they're worried about in these games is delivering great gameplay and great storytelling, not pushing agendas, not worried about offending people, not worried about someone's feelings, just great gameplay, and that's what we all want. And the sad part is they want to tell us the games industry as a whole is dying. It's not. It's just dying in the West. We're tired of the HR type dialogue, tired of the agenda pushing. At the end of the day, you know, you say anything about it, they tell you it wasn't made for you, don't buy it. But when we do just that, they cry about it. And that's why all these studios are getting shut down, people are getting laid off, because somewhere along the line they lost how to make good games. I mean, just look at Ubisoft, where they're at right now. All they do is copy and paste the same game over and over and over again, and just make more and more Ubislop, just over and over again. You know, we're moving on from the preaching, the HR dialogue, the bland storylines, the dated gameplay, and playing these amazing games out of the East. You know, when they are done ruining storied franchises that we all enjoy, they come out with stuff like this, where you can just tell that they are trying way too hard to make something cool, and it doesn't feel natural at all. It's just super forced, super cringe. The overuse of the anime in this, you can just tell it has that feel of, we're gonna send you a message. Where, you know, 5-10 years ago, no one would bat an eye in this game. They'd be like, you know what, this looks pretty cool, I'll give it a chance. But with everything that's gone on in the gaming world now, you already know what this is. It's just another waste of a time game. They're gonna try and message you to death, and it's really not gonna be good. It'll have the same bland storytelling, same bland characters, same bland gameplay. And that's all it's gonna be.
Excellent.
You know, at the end of the day, if the West doesn't wake up making all these games the way that they're making them, you know, they'll just all end up going away, and the East is going to take over the gaming world. And won't find me complaining, because there's plenty of games to play, that's for damn sure. These companies just need to get themselves together before it's too late for them. I hope they do, because that just means even more games on top of the great games we're getting out of the East. But on that, thank y'all for watching. Catch y'all later. Have a good one.